And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Factorio in our Extreme Production series. Okay, well, all of the circuit boards finally finished. We were just about out of reds. Reds depleted all the way down to about right here when these started backing up. So we're definitely going to need amplified red production. And if we amplify that, then we're going to need more greens and more plastic and more copper. I did add another copper smelting setup down here and rerouted these a little bit. So this one now is feeding into here. Now that we're up to blue belts, I'm able to move a full line of these with one blue belt. Whereas red belts are slow enough where two lines can pretty much be packed. So we had more copper. So I might even have to consider a circuit outpost or two, like a green circuit outpost and then a red circuit outpost, something like that. Down the road, depending on what our demand is, because we're gonna need so many blue circuits and red circuits when the time comes. And we don't have God modules to make it pretty trivial. So we got to figure out a way to ramp up production quite a bit. So I want speed modules, lots and lots of speed modules. Now, if we look at the speed module, 10-second craft uses one speed circuit board, one case, one main board, and 4 contacts. Well, we're making one module case a second. We're making one module mainboard. So just these speed modules alone will tap out the greens that we have here, the cases that we have up here, unfortunately. So we're going to need, we're actually going to need some modules up in here to ramp up that production. So we got plenty of material, so I'm guessing speed modules once we get up a little ways. I mean, if we look at this, 2 speed circuit boards and 5 module contacts, so it just starts ramping up from here. And this actually unlocks the logic board, which we're going to have to make at some point. But first, I want to build up our supply of speed modules so we can route them up into a high-tech science area. And I need something. What am I short on? I'm short on iron and probably, I'm not short on steel. I really should automate this, but it's so tedious. Okay, how am I doing on, I got plenty of inserters. Okay, here we go. Speed modules. I'm gonna need a lot of these. If I do 1 a second, let's look at some math here. So the high-tech science uses 1 speed module every 14 seconds. And that creates 2. So 7 of these would basically be 1 high-tech science pack per second. But I would only require like 3.5 speed modules. 3.5 speed modules per second. So I only need like 4 producers to keep up with this. Because 7 of these requires, that's going to be 7, it's 14, so that's 2 seconds. That is 3 processing units every 2 seconds. And we walked a little too far away. We are not producing that many. These are 10 seconds. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 16 of these. So we're almost producing 2 a second. Almost. Not quite. And we would need a little bit more than that. So 7 of these. Yeah. So we don't really have the blues to keep up with 7 high-tech assemblers, unfortunately. But we can try it anyway, because then we can just ramp up blues, and then ramp up copper, and then ramp up red circuits. Everything gets ramped up as you add assemblers and stuff that uses it. Okay, we are going to pull out of these. So I want 1 there. Actually, let's go 2 up. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are all going to be speed modules. Actually, didn't I just say I only needed like 3 or 4 of these? So let's dial that down. That's a little extreme for me. Because we need 4 different things. So 1 thing is going to come from here. And then we need module contacts. And I've got a lot of that stuff being routed. I kind of snuck module contacts underneath all of this. So let's, can we bring it out? Sneak it around right here. And then the module cases. So I want 2 of these things here. What else do we need? Main boards, those are main boards there. We need the cases, which are way over here. I'm going to have to sneak them in. So I think those are going there. Those will go in there like so, and then we're going to have an output here, and obviously this one will go here. And we need the cases down here a ways. So if I could sneak these through, right through in here. Just like that. Okay, and then let's load these up. Okay. And I actually want these to come back, because I don't want to take any more forward space away from production. So these craft in 10 seconds. We need like 3.5 every. I think this is enough. I think this is going to be enough production. I could be completely wrong about my math. If it's weird fractional production, it's hard for me to on the fly do the math on that. I try, I don't always succeed. So we're gonna actually load these in like so, and let's get these powered up. Okay. There we go. Now we are creating speed modules. So let's go way north here and start a high-tech science production area. Let's see, how much... We want to get rid of some of these trees. And I want to expand my logistics range a little bit here. Where do I cut off? Right there. Let bots build that. And that should hopefully give us a little bit more clearing. Of course, our bots are so darn slow right now because we're trying to get to the nuclear, the special nuclear bots. Speaking of which, I'm also going to want to start productivity, so when we do research the enrichment process, I can throw some productivity modules in those centrifuges, which will pretty much guarantee we will ramp up production quite fast. Oh, you almost made it, little bot. You almost made it. It's weird. They're not able to fly very far under their own power. Okay, so the high-tech science setup uses a significant amount of copper. It is pretty crazy, actually, how much copper they use, because they take 30 copper cable. That's 15 copper each. I think it's 2. Yeah, 15 copper a piece, plus the speed modules, plus the processing units, and all the copper it takes to make those, plus the batteries. So it's a really copper-heavy production. All right, so if we want, we're going to do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are all going to be copper cable. And these are all going to be the high-tech science. What else do we need? We need the modules, we need the processing units, and we need batteries. Okay, well, that is going to be kind of tricky, because we need modules, processing units, and batteries. And then I'm going to have an output somewhere. I think what I'm going to do, kind of design this on the fly. Whoop. It's 2, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, 6. 6. Let's go with 6 for now. It's a nice pattern. And then I can just output here, and I can just stretch this across. And this one's going to get merged in with this one, which will merge in with this one, which will finally give me the output I want. And I don't need to produce or store these in a logistics system. I just need to. There we go. And that will allow me to bring in multiple belts and not worry about offloading in here at all. And I'm going to try to build this up. I'm using shift to build with these just because. So I'm going to try to build all of these. Okay, so that is a lot of stuff. I think processing units are going to have to go in the middle, or at the close end. And then I'm going to have to put batteries and the speed modules on the outside one, just because of how many are required. And this also gives us enough space to toss in a couple beacons in here, which is fantastic news. I could actually fit 2 beacons right in here. So I want to keep that in mind when I put the power in. Can I... Oh, I can't quite stretch the power that way. There we go. Okay, so we need a massive amount of copper, and I'm sure I'm going to have to add more copper. I'm pretty sure we're going to need additional copper coming down the line here, just because of how much copper this is going to actually run. And then we need the production, the purple, these guys here, the really, really expensive circuits. Yeah, I don't need to run those. So let's get these actually in the system right away, so it'll give us a chance. I doubt my reds have recovered. That entire chest was completely empty. Yeah, you can see they're recovering, but now that we've got blues going, oh man, it's a whole different ball game. Okay, so let's get copper going. It's because it's just a massive amount. So in 14 seconds, it's actually slightly less than what we need. In 14 seconds, we're actually able to make 28, and we need 30. So it's just like a fifth of a second slower than what we need. But it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so now we need batteries and speed modules. And batteries should be relatively simple and straightforward. Right in here. Where are my batteries at? Where are my batteries? Yeah, there they are. Oh, I lost my spot. Right down here. I'm going to loop these up and around. Just because we don't need a ton of these, I want to make sure we've got enough. Yeah, that could get in the way if I need more iron down here, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, batteries, you are good to go. There we go. I think I have ample battery production. I could be wrong, but I think I've got that nailed down. Okay, so the return trip for these speed modules, I'm not going to use bots. We're going to spaghettification, and I'm going to try to. Oh, let's not interrupt gold at all. We're going to try to merge right in with all of this. Okay, so we need to go up with these. And yeah, I think I'm just going to go all the way. As far up as I can. I think that is pretty much on the line, and we just need to go under all of that. Okay, so those are speed modules. And if we're making them fast enough, that would be great. I'm actually not sure how many we're going to be using, but it is what it is. This will drain that chest out right quick. The other thing you can do when you do a setup like this is just sort of let it run like all night. Just let it cruise. Okay, so how are blues? Blues are recovering a little bit. Here come the wonderful speed modules. Oh yeah, I didn't set these up. There we go. And the output should be getting lovely high-tech science packs. There, look at that. The first 2 high-tech science. Oh, now we're down to 1 because they have to go in there. But now we've got them. High-tech science is on the way. And now we can route them right into this little old belt right here. Wow, these are old belts. These have been running for a long time. So if we're going to output, I don't have any underground belt, so let's go grab some of that. We're going to output right in here. And then try to underground through all of that. And it's kind of messy. And I doubt, yeah, see, we can't get through there. Right in through there. Very, very much spaghetti. Spaghetti. So good. Okay, so we got this coming through there. We got a little bit coming in through there. A little bit through there. And we got almost, look at that, 100. We've got 100 high-tech science. We just need a few thousand more. I think, you know, one of the cheapest high-tech science researches is actually the logistics warehousing. 25 of those babies. So that might be the first one we do while we wait for these to accumulate a little bit. I'd like for them to accumulate a little bit. And there we go. The first 100 and change. We got a little bit more coming in. And of course this whole setup is really slow. So all of these are still the original slow yellow belt. Pretty painful. Well, look at that. We've got high-tech science almost to the end, and I want to kick off a high-tech science research in order to celebrate the return, the arrival of high-tech science. So it should have, ooh, we actually don't have it going all the way to the end. That's not good. I know we have enough to research, but we don't have enough to have all of our research labs working at the same time, which I don't want to get them out of order here. And we need to upgrade some of this stuff because it's old and busted. I'd rather upgrade the undergrounds by hand because I think the upgrade planner actually clears out what's in them. And I'd rather not clear out all the good science packs that we've got going right now. Okay, so I think I'm going to kick this research off. Go. There we go. Getting them loaded in. There we go. Speed that up a little bit. There we go. Our first high-tech science research is done. And you know what I might do? I might change this over a little bit. I might move this over to this setup. Just so, you know, all of our science packs are like right in here. So I think it might behoove us to put one rather in here. Where are my... There they are. There we go. That way it's just all my science packs are kind of in the same corridor, same area. Ooh, blues. Yeah, we need blues. That is not good that those were limited like that. We got plenty of resources now, so load them to your heart's content there, Mr. Loader. Alright, we're almost backed up to the chest. That will be truly amazing progress to start actually storing them. Alright, well that'll do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.